That is new theme music, is it not? Why, yes, it is. Welcome to the fourth, not the final, installment of the Kevin Pollak Chat Show. I am, of course, Chat Show. Welcome to all the new viewers. Very excited to have you. I will start by saying Happy Easter. Sorry about killing your dude. This is very exciting. Jamie cooked up a lovely Easter feast. We've all dined and dashed and are ready to really have a fun show. I have two phenomenal guests. I thought ahead of time, it's Easter Sunday. Why not make it a funny show? Go for the laughs. That's what Jesus would do. See what I did? I've got two great guests. One I've known as a stand-up comedian literally since the day I started. 104 years ago, and the other one I've only met in the last, I'm going to say 6 months, although I've admired his work for a very long time. In chronological order of those descriptions, we have Bobby Slayton and Doug Benson. Please be seated. I was talking to the home audience. Bobby stood up to take a bow. So yeah, this is very exciting. We've got a very funny show schedule, very funny guys, and we're gonna chat with them, as you know, in a few minutes after I have a little time with you personally. We know how that is and how important it is to us. We have some contest winners, starting with a gentleman who provided our opening music. He also provided our outro. Let's quickly go to Woody Allen for his information. Yes, of course. Interesting transition, if not slightly didactic or pedantic, depending on, you know, which side of the Mississippi. Ross Owen, a.k.a. Stan and Ollie. Yes, and Billy Moffat, both from Scotland. The whole other country submitted this particular music we heard earlier. I love that these guys, Ross Owen is the co-founder of the administrator of the website laurelandhardyforum.com. And he's the webmaster for, this is when it really gets juicy for me, One Night of Queen. You heard me. One Night of Queen is exactly what you think. Gary Mullen and the Works are recognized as the world's finest tribute to Queen and Freddie Mercury, or Mercury, depending on, again, where you fall in the Mississippi. And Billy Moffat, who co-wrote the opening, is the bass player for Gary Mullen and the Works. Acknowledged and recognized as the finest Queen and Mercury guy. So they all the way from Scotland. Thank you so much. And of course, the reward is that we ask folks to go to the 3 W's followed by the laurelandhardyforum.com as well as the onenightofqueen.com. So you can check out those guys' wares and the projects they work on, and as they produce any other sort of music, we will plug the hell out of it. They're also going to receive, let's go to camera 5, testing new camera, people. Camera 5, how do you like it now? Oh, look at the shine. You may not want one of these, but you can sell it on eBay for probably $5 or $6. I get 20, but you could probably, it's hard cash, $5 or $6 for you. Kevin Pollak, Little Off the Top, live stand-up CD, featuring Chat Show. That's coming to both of those gentlemen for writing that theme song. And again, if you're out there and you are of mind, we had a new winner last week, a new winner this week. Speaking of which, May 10th, very excited, the creator and star of The Guild, maybe the hottest online comedy series, Felicia Day would be my guess. Also just booked and locked. Co-founder and frontman, Tears for Fears, Kurt Smith. I know. That's how fucking huge we are. Gets creepy, doesn't it? I know. Kurt Smith has decided to jump into the fun, and he's bringing, so he says, a theme song. Yeah, he wants one of my CDs. So he's going to participate in the competition, and I'm very excited about it. So happy Easter, but first, a couple of days ago, if not still, happy Passover, Pesach. I hid the afikomen for my Jew friends that are here in the studio. So Jamie and I are going through the Bed Bath & Beyond. Don't ask. And she wants to get a couple supply things. We have a nice full bar set there. First I'm going to talk about what a bleeding heart, white, pasty liberal I am, and terribly frightened, unlike my first guest, Bobby Slayton, terribly frightened of saying anything that may be seen as racist. So Jamie says, I need to get one of those metal shot pouring devices, otherwise known as a jigger. You heard me. So I'm all ready to ask the first employee of Bed Bath & Beyond, hey, where the hell are you hiding all the jiggers? Guess who showed up? So she's behind me and can't quite figure out why I'm not saying it. Because I'd already shared this announcement with her. This is what I was going to say to the first employee. And then I didn't. And she was wondering, what the hell is his problem? All right, we'll leave it at that. So while we're there, I walked by the Passover section. Yeah, you're at Bed Bath & Beyond. There's a Passover section where you can get your little goodies. And camera 5, please, because we really want to see this. That's what it says. Passover, 10 plagues, finger puppets. I'm not kidding. Now, my first thought was, who is this for? How old is the child that gets to see this? 2, 3? How young are they before we beat guilt into their brains? For those of you that aren't familiar, let's go around the wheel, shall we? First plague, say it with me, blood. You got it. Yeah, turn the water into blood. Then we got frogs. By the way, how many of you knew, I didn't know this, I had to look it up, that's how great of a Jew I am. How these plagues came about was that Moses wanted to have a feast for the slaved Jews. This wasn't about the Jews getting away, let my people go. This was, let my people have a smoke break. He wanted to have a feast during the slavery, and the Pharaoh said, no, go screw yourself. Moses bitches to God. God says, I'll show the Pharaoh. Comes up with the 10 plagues. Simply because the Jews wanted a smoke break. This is why we're the chosen people. There's another example. All right. I'm pissing off as many as I can as I go around here on Passover. All right, so blood. First one was blood. Second one's frogs. Let's really fuck them up. Let's drop some frogs on them. How about 3, lice? Seems weak. Lice, right? Frogs falling from the sky. Now we're going to be some lice. Even worse, 4. You'd never know by that lion right here. Yeah, you know what 4 is? Flies. That's how weak his shit became. Flies, right? Then we go right to cattle. We're going to disease the cattle. Coming around the wheel here, we got boils, bad boils. Ooh, gosh. Everyone's ugly now. All the Pharaoh's peoples are ugly, right? Then we got hail. I'm going to screw up the weather. That seems a little weak, to be honest with you, to follow the, yeah. Then we go to, what do we got here? Frogs? No, locusts. Locusts, yeah. So you got me with the green again. Locusts, again, everywhere you go. Nothing but locusts. Then darkness, all the time. Morning, noon, and night, darkness. And then the last one, look at this cute little thing. This is the one that kills me. You're teaching this to a 4-year-old. Firstborn, dead. Right? Here's your firstborn, dead. Now, pull out again if you would, please. My point is, if you have firstborn dead as your closer, what are you giving me flies? What am I supposed to do with that? Come on. All right. Couldn't believe that a 3-year-old was going to have that shoved in their face. Look, Tommy, because that's the name of a Jew kid. All right. I want to get to my guests as quickly as I can. There are a couple of other things I needed to mention. Bobby's very excited. This is something for my guests to know, because these are my first 2 guests also who haven't actually seen the show. So they were two important factors there. They were kind enough and supportive enough to say blindly, yes, of course I'll be on. And in some ways, perhaps good that they hadn't seen the show. The second thing is that no preparation whatsoever. I love that, because that's pretty much how we do the show. But they also don't know that there's a participation that the audience, we take live questions from Twitter and live questions from the chat room at kevinpollackschatshow.com, which of course you know, because that's where you are right now. And that's called the Larry King game. We've had a lot of nice Twitter suggestions coming in on the Larry King game. And for my two guests who are within ear and eye shot, the Larry King game works like this. And everyone must participate, all the guests. Larry King, God bless him, hell of a career, but let's face it, he's 102. It's my belief it's only a matter of time before Larry accidentally shares something about himself on the air that we shouldn't know. So when it's your turn to play the Larry King game, and you at home can play the game too, it's fun, it helps to be slightly intoxicated. When it's your turn to play the Larry King game, you must do a bad Larry King impression. I must reiterate this part, because there's always pressure. Ooh, I have to do a good, nope. Bad Larry King impression. You can't lose. Everyone can do a shitty one, come on. Then reveal something about yourself on the air. Okay, you're still Larry King, and you reveal something about yourself on the air that no one should know. Then you go to the phone. And if you can, the name of the city, it would help if it was somewhat funny sounding. I'll give you an example. At present, I'm wearing an adult diaper, not because I have to. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, you're on. All right. So, bad Larry King impression, maybe even bad joke, whatever. And then the name of the city is funny sounding. Okay. I am good. If you're in the North Bay area, I'm doing, before we get off the Jews altogether, I'm doing the fabulous Marin. They got a nice, beautiful theater up there, the Marin Jewish Community Center. Yep. That's how big in the business I am. Saturday, April 18th, and when you go to get your tickets, if you say I saw this on the chat show, you're going to get the reduced Jew rate, because who doesn't want that? And they're going to knock money off the cost. I love that. I'm sure they told me where to email to get the tickets. Well, you will find out. Probably the Marin Jewish Community Center. Yeah, there it is, marinjcc.org. Start on the chat show, save yourself some money. Anyways, I'm going to be there, and it's to help raise money for that place and give back to the Jews. How crazy is that? Jews giving back to Jews. Which, by the way, coming full circle with the Easter, the saddest thing, of course, about the death was the Jew-on-Jew crime. This is what we have to stop. The idea here, as you may have noticed, is to not take it all so seriously. Your Bible, my Bible, there's some filler in there. All right, fine, I'll give you some examples. My Bible, your Bible, both say that Moses freed the slaves from Egypt, eventually, and then they wandered the desert for 40 years. Shut the fuck up. 40 years? Jews? Walking? 2 weeks tops before the mass complaining grinds that parade to a halt. 40 years? You're going to make shit up? Say 40 weeks. That's impressive. Are you telling me year 17, this doesn't happen? Can I ask one question? Does anyone have a map? We're still in the sun, yes? You all have the Immaculate Conception. God bless you on that one. My heart goes out to Joseph on that particular story. Fellas, you walk a mile, no shoes. You're out there busting ass all day at work, come home to your virgin wife, and she's what? No, I'm sorry, back that up because I know I haven't been there. Who? Shut up. Honey, talk to me. We can work through this. You don't have to... What? All right, fine. The Lord. Sure, the Lord. The Lord got there before me. Not some guy in town whose ass I can kick. The Lord. The Lord who I'm guessing had his choice of every woman on the planet, and he chose you. Lucky me! Your Bible, my Bible, there's some filler in there. Happy Easter. Okay. We're going to take your questions live. I got some 3 Degrees of Kevin Pollak. That's the other contest to win one of these fabulous CDs you can sell on eBay for about $4. Notice the price is going down for your convenience. Yeah, 3 degrees of Kevin Pollak. I'm not sure why Kevin Bacon, that puss, needs 6 degrees. So I'm saying offer anybody up. Someone actually got me on Twitter where I'm at Kevin Pollak. Laurel, Stan Laurel. They came at me with Stan Laurel. Really? Stan Laurel? I'm not going to get there in 3 degrees or less. How about I got there in 1 degree? All right, 2. But still, I got there in less than 3. Stan Laurel did a movie with Rory Calhoun called The Bullfighters. Rory Calhoun did a movie with Rip Torn called The Blue and the Gray. All right, it was a miniseries, but still they worked together. I, of course, did Canadian Bacon with Rip Torn. That's 2 handshakes. Suck it! All right. Someone just wrote in that they need a jigger. I can't help you. We went over this earlier. All right. I look forward to your questions at twitter.com as well as the chat room. I'm going to introduce my first guest.
Finally!
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, right?
Oh my God.
I first met this guy in San Francisco.
Oh my God, this took forever. Holy shit. By the way, Jigger is a Jewish black person, and it couldn't be better. Yeah, by the way, first of all, me and Doug Benson were very offended by the fact that you said we never watched your show, we've never seen your show, and don't take this personally, we have televisions, okay? If I never have television on my computer, I've been watching porn, not this crap. But anyway, I'm very happy to be here, and happy Easter. And by the way, Pollak, I'll be with you in a second. The way you started your show was,
yeah.
You go, oh, by the way, sorry we killed your dude. That's really nice, you know? What's really interesting, I'll tell you a funny story. I have a lot of funny stories. I'm like Rudyard Kipling. So here's what's great. So Good Friday, I'm playing up, remember our old pal Tommy T up in,
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Anyway, I'm playing this club, and I go on the radio Friday morning, and I did a joke. And I didn't mean this as a joke, but I said, seriously, we had all these angry calls. You've done radio. People are very politically correct. That's the one great thing about the internet. You say whatever you want to say, even if you want to make, jigger jokes. It's fine. But what's amazing, I did a joke about, it wasn't me, it meant a joke, Good Friday. No, why? It sounds like a cycle. Why do you call it Good Friday? The guy was crucified on this day.
Yes, he was.
It doesn't seem like it would be a good day. It seems like it would be a horrible Friday. So people are calling up and saying, I'm making fun of the Lord, I'm making fun of Jesus. But I wasn't. I was actually sticking up for these people.
See what we try to do?
But by the way,
we try to give back.
Hand me the plagues for a second.
Okay.
All right, listen. You know what? This is really cool.
Did you have a better bit?
No, I don't have a better. No, I was going to try to top you. That'd be too easy. No, what I was going to say was, is that...
By the way, for those of you watching at home, Bobby was told, you got 40 minutes. Take your time. Just to give you an idea.
I know.
This is the pace when you can take his time.
I have 2 hours of stuff. I'm trying to cram into 40 minutes. Now it's going to be... Now you've ruined me. Now you slowed me up. It's 30 seconds I've lost because I can talk.
All right, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say was, is there any way I can have this?
Not a chance in hell. Unless I know for sure I can get another one.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because right after this, I'm going to Easter dinner, and I think there's going to be kids there. And
Yes.
I hate kids.
You know what, Bobby?
And I like to scare the fuck out of them with this.
I take it back. You're the perfect person to pass that along.
Hey, I mean, so you brought this up too. It's interesting to me that these plagues, the thing I hate about religion, I hate about the Bible, is they need to update this stuff because a lot of this stuff's obsolete.
The flowers in general?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
I mean, what they should have in here is peanut butter, pistachio nuts, spinach. These are the things that'll kill people. AIDS, cancer.
I see what you're saying.
You don't need the jigger. Anyway. Do you want to ask me a question?
Yes, I'd love to. Let's, I'll give this to you before
I'm Doug Benson, who's on next.
Yes.
You had a chance.
Make sure Bobby gets this before.
I gave you a minute. Benson, who has opened up for me in a lot of clubs around the country, is a great comedian.
Is that your way of slamming my next guest?
No, that's the way
you
of
said
saying
that he's opened up for you?
the way I say
that
I'm opening it for him.
By the way, you know that television you like to watch?
Yeah.
He's on it all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is now I'm opening for him. He's the headliner. He's in the marijuana logs. I'm just saying that everybody who's ever opened up for me has gone on to tremendous success and fame. Jeannie Garofalo, Mark Curry, David Spade, Doug Benson, Rob Schneider, Jon Stewart, and I think maybe even Kevin Pollak. You're all doing great. I bring a lot of luck to people, not to myself so much, but to people that open up for me. So you're doing very well.
I want to thank you also for bringing a lovely bottle of wine.
Yeah, but you know what? You had a nice, Jamie put together this delicious Easter dinner.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I love ham.
Sure.
Anything to make my mother mad, because I hated Hebrew school so much. I didn't even know it was Passover. I swear to God, my mother called me. Did you do a Seder? Because my mother calls me.
I did a Seder in my pants. What do you mean did I do a Seder? Of course not. We're so Reformed, we're Catholic. I mean, I can't even remember the 4 questions.
You don't remember that?
No, but please continue your story.
What I was going to say was, you told me there was ham.
Yes.
I had to bring some wine.
So you brought wine for the ham. Sure.
Yeah, and by the way, I do appreciate being on the show because on regular TV, you can't drink wine and say fuck. And that's why I came here. Not so much to see you.
Well, so I was going to tell the story before you sat down and interrupted your own introduction.
Right.
That when we first met, it was in San Francisco. You were already kind of established in the San Francisco comedy team. I'd come up from San Jose where I was raised. And I remember bringing we would hang out on Broadway at the Italian place.
Enrico's.
Enrico.
He just died. Enrico started the Hungry Eye.
Yeah.
People don't know who he is. You
Right.
know, Lenny Bruce and all that days, Purple Onion and Mort Saul, just trying to give him some background. Right.
Yeah, so we would hang out there afterwards sometimes. And I remember I brought this, I won't even say date, she was a female friend. At the time, I wish it was a date.
Girl?
But you thought she was my date. And she got up to go to the bathroom, and you came over and smelled her seat. That's how pretty this girl was. Do you remember that?
No, because I do that a lot. No.
It was your way of telling me you thought she was pretty.
No, it's
you
my
came
way.
over and...
No. It was my way of deciding how I was trying to guess her weight and age. You know, much like the guys in the circus and the carnival. I can tell usually a girl's age and what she likes, you know.
Yes.
And now that I'm married for God knows how many years.
How long have you been married?
21 years.
Congratulations. They said it wouldn't last.
With a wind chill factor, it's like 100 years.
Nice.
I think I have some ham in my tooth. Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of ham, tell us about the little ham you spawned, because she's my favorite.
Oh, Natasha?
Yes.
Well, you know what? After the show was over, you should. Well, I don't even know if she's up to doing a website again. But Natasha Slayton.
Yes.
That would be my daughter. She's doing a CD. You know, she's an actress when she was little.
Of course.
You know, she was acting.
I know that she ultimately got more work than you have.
Yeah, but did I ever tell you the story how she got into this? I think I told you this.
Please.
This is actually a very entertaining story. So I was on a show.
Uh-huh.
My daughter's 2-3 years old, and she was very outgoing. You know, of course, she gets that from me. Very talented, very pretty, all that kind of stuff. So we brought her to an agent. You know, and they said to me, "Bobby, this kid's great."
How old?
She must have been 3 or 4 years old.
3 or 4 years old?
We just gave it a shot.
And the agent says she's great?
She was
what was her act?
It was stuff you were doing at the time. She did a great Woody Allen, but better than you. And she did a terrific Larry King. You should have her on sometime.
All right, she's 3 or 4. She's doing Larry King, and the agent loves her.
Okay, the agent loved it. So we sent her to an audition,
Right.
and she freaked out, and that was the end of it. I'm not going to be a stage parent. I'm not going to push my kid into show business. It's over. Okay. So about 7-8 years later, I'm on the Tom Arnold show. Tom had a lot of shows, and I was not a regular, but a semi-regular. Ed McMahon was on the show.
Sure.
Shannon Tweed. Okay.
Sure.
So I was,
Shannon Tweed?
Remember her?
Wow. Go ahead.
Have you worked with her?
No.
How many degrees from Shannon Tweed? Me? Right there.
One handshake.
Right.
Okay.
Not even close to Shannon Tweed. I work with a lot of cooler people than you have, all right?
Should I smell your seat? Would it smell like Shannon Tweed? All right, go ahead with the story. I'm sorry.
I sound like Doug Benson. But anyway, so anyway, I'm doing the show, and you know when you never start a show, you know your trailer is a teeny little. It's like a portishead. All right. So my daughter comes to the set and goes, "Daddy, I'm dying to get back in showbiz." Like she was ever in it. I got to get into this.
How old is she at this point?
Maybe 9 or 10.
Okay.
So she's at the show. You know, you tape on Fridays, live studio audience, and she's enamored by all this. I said, "Okay." I call up the same agent again. They're still in business, and they said, "Bobby, you know, we'll see her." And so I bring her in, and they said to me, "You got to put this kid in the business. We got to give it a shot." I said, "Okay." You know what? She'll get it out of her system.
Sure.
You know what it's like.
Sure.
I don't want to do this to her, but she wants to do it. It builds character. You know, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. She goes on 2 auditions. She gets an animated series. You know, she has like 10 episodes. I think she has an ABC series for Jamie Widows. You know Jamie?
Sure.
He did Animal House, did a lot of, Jamie did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So she had to read 7 times to the network. And the kid was so inexperienced that they kept throwing fastballs at her. Try it this way, do it this way. And she's doing it because she didn't, it's almost like a drunk when he gets in a car accident, doesn't die because he doesn't know where he is. You know, he doesn't fight it. So it's almost, you ever hear those stories? When they just
I just love that you've likened your daughter's actions to a drunk in a car.
No, I haven't even gotten started. Anyway, so no, the point was, I got off track for a second. It's like Richard Lewis. I'm on an imaginary role.
I'd like you to take your time.
She gets the series.
Yeah.
The day she gets the show, the Tom Arnold show's canceled. So she gets on the same set at Universal Studios that we were on. But instead of getting a little portishead as a dressing room, she gets a giant room with her name on it and a shower and a parking space. And so that was her introduction into show business. She got a series. And
the show you were on got killed.
Yeah, I killed. She goes on the same set. But one of the greatest things in my life was, you know, when you have a child, which, you know, you don't have a kid. And
I've seen children. I know what they look like.
Yeah, but I never wanted one until I had one.
Right.
And I don't want it anymore because I have to fuck my wife again. I don't want that to happen. What I'm saying, though, is every Friday after the dress rehearsal, after the run-through,
Yes.
her and I, the Universal Studios were shut down, and her and I would take an ice cream cone, and we go to the Psycho House, and we sit on the steps of the Psycho House
Nice.
and go over her lines. And I would videotape this, and I said to my daughter, you know, we go on the Frankenstein set, and I thought I got a bigger kick out of this than she did. But I said, you know what, when you get older, you're going to remember how cool this was. You and I sat at the Psycho House and went over your lines.
And how old is she now, Natasha?
We don't talk anymore. She has a boyfriend. He's a hip-hop dancer. But I know she's 20. Anyway, she's doing a CD. It's coming out on Natasha Slayton. It's going to be big. So I'll be opening for her soon.
How old is she? Didn't answer
20.
that. Oh, she's 20.
20 years old.
And does she remember fondly the steps of the
Psycho House.
Psycho House?
She remembers going to the set of the last Freddy Krueger movie and sitting on his lap. I wish I had a picture of this one. And sitting with Freddy, and she's explaining to Robert Englund how, you know, you're going to come to my house, dressed in your makeup, and attack my friends and scare the hell out of them. And then Robert's going, well, I don't usually wear this makeup. And she goes, well, then you're not coming over. But saying it really serious. You know, I don't know
I
where
love Tosh.
She gets this attitude from her mother.
I'm going to have her on the show just to show you up.
She really is. Well, I'm like Billy Ray Cyrus. A couple of years from now, believe me, I'll be opening up for her.
Yeah. Now, you have a question from our audience.
I do?
Yeah, you appeared, of course, wonderfully, in the movie Rat Pack.
And you're Joe Mantegna.
And we had Joe Mantegna on, but also Ray Liotta. And this.
You had Ray Liotta on?
No, not yet.
Oh, he's on the phone.
This
Ray
person
Liotta
wants to know what was.
Is the caller there?
What was like?
Ray.
Don't do Larry King show yet.
I still
no,
don't
this
know.
person wants to know what it was like for you to work with Ray Liotta and Joe Mantegna. Did you have a good time? What was the experience like?
Yeah, they were pricks. Next caller. Walla Walla, Washington. I just like saying that. Islamabad, are you there? No. You know what? How do you know? Like, well, you know Joe. Did you work with Joe in a movie?
Joe makes Tom Hanks look like Hitler. That's how nice he is.
He really? Well, Tom Hanks is like Hitler.
Wait, what?
He is. Tom Hanks, his father was, he was going to Auschwitz. You didn't know this? Just making shit up. See, I'm going to spread this, and then I'll get sued. I need the press. No. Joe Mantegna is great. You know what was funny when we did the Rat Pack movie? Joe, you worked with Joe? You've worked with everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
What movie did you work with Joe on?
It's called Hoods.
Nobody saw that.
No.
Do you know Pollak? He's done a lot of great movies, but you know what's really funny?
No, I've done a lot of movies. 6 of them are great.
3.
6 out of 60. That's not bad.
I went to IMDb. There were about 3 that were really good. Casino, and the rest. Anybody here could do that. Doug Benson's been in better movies, and he hasn't even done a movie. But here's the thing: is that no, Joe Mantegna is great. No, you know what? You beat me up for the part. There'd be like 4 parts for little a midget Jews. I was too tall for the parts, and that's the only reason you got them. But there were 4 parts I was up for, and I didn't get them because of you. And the movies I remember did suck.
Well, then I'll come right back at you with this. You got to work with one of my all-time favorite directors, Jamie. Jamie may be her absolute all-time favorite director. And
you work what?
in the movie Ed Wood.
Oh, Tim Burton.
Yeah. I want to show a clip
okay.
because I thought you were absolutely fantastic. Because I grew up watching Hunt's Hall, of course, and thought that he was one of the most peculiar and funny. And to find out that he had his own show and that Bella was on.
I'll tell you a great story. I'll tell you a great story.
So let's show the clip first, and then I want to hear the story afterwards.
Great story.
Let these people know that I've got a legitimate person from show business here for 9 seconds. Ready?
Ready, go!
Sorry. Yeah, there's no clip. We can't afford them. It's a whole clearance issue. Sorry.
Okay, that last line there?
Hold on. Okay.
That last line?
I
told you we should have got Karloff. Now, you've done a million movies, and you know when sometimes you have to, go in and do the voiceover stuff afterwards, because you sync it up. And
ADR session, sure.
Yeah, and then you have to clean it up for television and do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we did the movie. And I told you we should have got Karloff, and I walk off stage, and of course we had to go in and redo the line. I'm playing a club in San Francisco. I said, Bobby, Tim Burton needs you to come down. I said, well, I'll be back in a couple of days. I'm just playing a club. He goes, no, he's going out of town. He just needs you to come down to do the line. And they'll fly you down. It's not a big deal. But, flying down from San Francisco to L.A., it's only an hour. But by the time you get to the airport, and you get in plane, and the car picks you up,
4 to
and
5
you get to the
hour
studio,
commitment.
it's a whole day thing.
Sure.
Okay. So I get there. It's no big deal. We're waiting for Tim Burton. And I said, let me just try it. Let me just do the line once. And they show me the thing. I go, I told you we should have got Karloff. So Tim Burton walks in, he goes, let me hear that, it's fine, okay, you can go. I was literally in the studio for a minute. I mean, it was fine. It just didn't take any time. But what was great about doing that movie is I'm a tremendous, and you've been to my house, I love horror movies.
Oh, yes.
If you go to a lot of kids' homes, they have pennants up in baseball and sports. I had monsters. I lived for monsters.
Preacher of the Black Lagoon.
I can tell you stories about that, but I just love my monsters. So when I heard they were doing a movie about Ed Wood, made all these horrible films, I go, oh my God, I got to audition for this, I got to be in it. And the character description was, the talk show host does his befuddled moron in a hat. Now, what Ed Wood did, what Bela Lugosi did when he was, his career was fading, he did a lot of talk shows. He was on Art Linkletter's show, he was on Milton Berle's show, and he was on the Red Skelton show. So befuddled moron in a hat, hey, I'm Clint Diddlehopper, and I can't really do.
You're right.
I'm not really good at that. Yeah. It's like impressions. You suck at it, but you make a living at it. So I figured I'd do Hunt's Hall. Louis, make me a Malton.
Right.
Okay. So I do it. I'm literally there. Put me on camera for a minute.
Right.
And a month goes by. I hear they're shooting the movie, and I go, I didn't get it. And a few weeks go by. I'm playing a comedy club, The Punchline in Sacramento, and I'm reading this book called Nightmare and Ecstasy. It's the Ed Wood story, and I'm sitting in the pool. And I'm just feeling sorry for myself. God, I wish I was in this movie. I need a good film. It would have been great to work with, Martin Landau, work with Johnny Depp, and I didn't get the movie. And I go back to my room, and I got a call. I got the movie, and I couldn't have been happier. But to work with Tim Burton, the guy, well, you've seen his movies. He's great. But he lets you do it. You work with Barry Levinson. You did Avalon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what, any other movies with him?
No, that was the one that I did with Barry.
It was very good. But I did a much better movie, Bandits, with Barry.
You're right. I did Barry's masterpiece.
No, Avalon was
and you did his other movie.
With the old Nazi guy. What was his name? The German guy.
Old Nazi guy.
What was he?
Armin Mueller-Stahl.
Right, Tom Hanks' father. And anyway, no, he was great. No, it's a great film.
Thank you.
But Barry, as you know, lets you just kind of do what you want to do.
Yes.
Yes. And then you go. I think I've heard Woody Allen does that too. But what was great about working with Tim Burton is you just kind of make shit up and just go. And he was really cool with it. But here was the best thing. My daughter...
So you're saying on script, because I want to be clear, and anything to slow you down. Are you saying that there was no creation of Hunt's Hall in that role until you decided to do Hunt's Hall?
Was not part of it.
So on paper, for the script, for the audition, whatever, it was just some buffoony guy.
Yeah.
You chose to do Hunt's Hall.
Yeah, befuddled moron in a hat. And I think, when I talked to the writers, I said, who was that based on? He said, well, Burl and Skelton and, just all these talk shows in the 1950s, all these guys, Right. But what came to my head, I mean, that's what I remember from 50s television. But I did such a good Hunt's Hall.
I just think that's great.
Loved it.
I just think that's great, Bobby, honestly. And I just want to sort of acknowledge that because I've enjoyed what you did in the movie. And the fact that you were doing Hunt's Hall, I thought, wow, they went after Bobby because he was one of the few guys I'd ever seen do Hunt's Hall. And it was all your creation and Tim Burton went with it. That's fantastic.
But here was it's really funny.
That's the best part of the story. So if you wanted to condense it for a real talk show, that would be my advice.
Well, if I was on a real talk show, I would do that. But I'm not. So, but here's the best part. My daughter, again, she was 7 years old. Edward Scissorhands had been, just come out.
Sure.
And it was on, video, and she'd watched it a lot. She heard us working with Johnny Depp. She said, God, I want to meet Edward Scissorhands. I want to meet him so badly. And Johnny Depp could not be a nicer guy. At the time, now we know what a nice guy is. But at the time, there were some incidences with, throwing TVs out windows. Remember, he was always getting arrested. But, there was a time, a year or two, when Johnny Depp was getting some bad press. And
yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And he couldn't have been a nicer guy. I mean, working with him, he was such a gentleman. And we were talking about music. So my daughter comes to the set. She wants to meet Johnny. And she sees him. And she's being very serious here. I go, honey, this is Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, my daughter, Natasha. And she says, he doesn't look anything like Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, my God.
So Johnny goes, I'll be right back. He goes in his trailer. It just so happens somebody had brought him one of the gloves to sign or something or to give him.
I'll be right back,
he has a glove, and he comes out and he goes, yeah? You want a haircut? You want a haircut? He starts chasing my daughter around. That was a Kodak moment I wish I would have had a picture of, and I just didn't.
I also love that story, and here's a story that Martha S. from Twitter.
We have Martha on the phone.
Yes.
What do you want, you old bat?
There's no phone.
Oh.
And
I'm working on my Larry King for later.
She's quite young.
Practicing.
So, all right. So, by the way, she's sort of our do you ever watch Flight of the Conchords, that character Mel, who's their one fan? Martha really is our Mel. Yeah. What'd you say?
The retarded guy.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Bobby, you have a daughter, of course, we've discussed that, and how has that affected the changes in your comedy, and what does your wife think of all the jokes about her and the marriage and the daughter?
That's another show. right there. We don't have time.
Yes, it is. In fact, you could probably tell the story best in the ridiculous routine I've seen you do on stage when you used to bring your daughter up, who at the time I'm guessing
God.
was 4.
I got in trouble for doing that at the San Diego Improv, for taking my daughter on stage. Some uptight broad, it went crazy that I brought my daughter. I was exploiting my daughter on stage.
Oh, no, there's no question about it.
Okay.
It's heinous and exploitive.
What would I do?
And that's why you should share it on this show.
I don't know what I did.
Really? You don't know what you did?
I really don't.
All right, let's put a pin in that. I've never seen Bobby blush. It just happened.
No, here's what I used to do.
Yes. No. Let's go to this other one.
Well, this is what I want. Maybe this is one you remember. All I would say is...
You'd bring your daughter on stage, who was 4 at the time.
3, 4, 5, maybe probably 3, 4. And I'd go, she loved King Kong was out. And we'd do an impression. I'd go, okay, I'm King Kong, and you'll be the lady. And I'd go, and she'd go, and she'd scream.
She'd go, ah!
Right, is that it?
Yes, that's it.
That's so exploitive.
No, yeah, that's not it at all, and I think you know why.
What is it then? Tell it on the air.
Seriously?
Yes, I don't know. What could I have possibly done to my daughter on television? You're not going to bring a Chris Hansen. I'm Chris Hansen.
Natasha, this would be a Chris Hansen moment.
What? But
Natasha, tell everyone how big.
Oh, Daddy, no. No!
Yes.
I didn't do that.
Why did you remember?
I did it once.
Let's not. Okay, good. I'm glad I was there to see it.
Listen.
I want to hear you.
Let's tell it.
You do a great thing in your act that's available on your CD. Where can they get your CD, by the way?
We can't tell. You want to tell a story? People are going to want it?
Let's drive past. All right, you know what?
You
Maybe I
brought it
have
up.
teased the shit out of it now. We need to pay it off. You're right.
Right.
Give us the money shot.
When kids are like, how big's the baby? Baby's so big. I think once on stage, I said, how big's Daddy's penis? She said, so big. She didn't know what it was. I think that was very funny.
It was the single most disgusting, exploitive thing I have ever seen. I mean, you know the whole aristocrats joke? That goes right in the toilet compared to when I saw you do that with your daughter
I
on
took that from
stage.
Bob Saget.
Okay.
It's the only joke I've ever done.
There is a bit. Where do we get? I wish we had some of your stuff to hold
20
up.
years old now. She's
Where
very well
can
adjusted.
people? You have like 7 live CDs you've done.
Right.
They can go to BobbySlayton.com. No, we're not leaving yet. But is this where they get your
I didn't come here to
CDs?
plug my stuff.
No, but I'm saying there's
BobbySlayton.com.
on one of your CDs. There's a bit.
And I don't do that joke.
No, I know. Please. There's a bit that you always did for many years. You would find a couple up front, and you would say, "Whoop-de-doo, how are you, pal? Hey, Joni, Chachi, nice to see you. So every guy masturbates, and I'm going to prove it." And you would go after the wife first, and you would get her to say every time, "There's no way in hell that my husband's going to say that he that my husband is going to agree that he masturbates."
Right.
You would get the wife to say it, or girlfriend, every single time. Then you'd go to the guy, and every time the guy would say,
Yeah.
"Of course I do."
Will you be
And the wife would be, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
All right. So then one night.
Yeah. Another great story.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Where's Chris Hansen? Is he here? All right. So, okay, here's what happens. So, but a lot of times it's amazing to me how many women don't know that their husbands jack off. It happens. But this one woman was very adamant. It was at the Improv in Seattle. Remember the club? 500 seats. It wasn't a club. It was a giant theater. Places packed, because I was there, not you. And it was a big full house. And this woman up front.
for the record, Bobby's idea of a giant theater seats 500.
Right. And when you playing the Marin Jewish, how much
Go
of the
ahead.
things?
I'm
It's
trying
funny-
to help out the temple. Please don't bust. All
It's
right.
funny that you can Jew people down
yeah.
the price of the tickets. You can Jew them down by saying, I sent them, you watched my show.
All right. So there you are at this giant theater of 500 in Seattle.
Well, that's for me, a giant theater.
And you go after this one particular couple.
Yes.
Called them Joni and Chachi, I'm guessing, as you always do.
Who bought this one?
You.
Oh, okay. No, this woman kept saying, my husband doesn't jack off, my husband doesn't masturbate.
Right.
And the guy kept sitting there, and he wasn't laughing during the whole show. He's like one of those birds with the big nose. Looks like me, actually. You know when you put the water in front of it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, like this.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. So the guy was never applauding, but he was laughing. And the woman, and you had to be there because it was perfect timing. The woman goes, my husband doesn't masturbate ever. And I think I actually took out money and I put on the table. I'll bet you he jacks off. And with perfect timing, she holds up his arms, and the guy had 2 hooks. Now, I don't laugh on stage, but I was pretty much beside myself. The whole audience was laughing. And because you don't see me speechless very often, especially not today. But, I was speechless.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really expecting a guy with 2 hooks.
2 hooks. Yeah.
And
He was pretending he was with a stranger and using
I
that.
was trying to do jokes. I said, hey, but he can open a can of tuna really quickly, or blah, 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 whatever.
You tried to recover.
Yeah, I tried to
Right.
recover.
Yeah.
And I mean, I might have got a chuckle or two, but how do you top the guy with no hands? And then make sure he jacks off and thinks he's got Band-Aids. I don't know what I said. But it was kind of, okay, you won.
Right.
Very rarely do they win. Checkmate. I give up. And I'm not sure how I followed it and ended the show, but it was a story that, and I'm not sure she even knew she had that perfect time, but just pushed up his arms and the guy held him up, and it was like they were setting me up.
Yeah, the thing that really drives it home is how wildly adamant you are each and every time you do this with the wife, because it works every single time. The more adamant you are, the more you can get the wife to say, and put money down and bet that there's no way he masturbates. And you get these women really worked up. And the fact that this one was able to go, hey, asshole.
Yeah.
And bring up the two hooks.
Yeah, but it's bachelorette parties who come to my show, especially young women. Have
Can we talk about why? I want to talk with Doug about this with Doug, too. This is the thing that blows my mind, maybe more than any part of the audience. The bachelorette party. Why they would come to a comedy show. Of all the people who choose to come to a show where there's no talking and just listening, a bachelorette party wants that?
They came last night to my show. They were fine.
Every show I've ever done, they're there.
They're there. And a lot of times they're out of control. But you know what? I found in the last few years a little bit more behaved. Maybe because comedy clubs police it a little bit better.
They police it, yes, but why are we policing a bachelorette party? Go out, have fun, go crazy. Get the fuck away from the guy talking.
The last couple of years I was in Vegas, playing at Hooters Casino, which is a whole other story.
This is our next subject.
Oh, well,
we're going to transition into Vegas.
But in Vegas...
And then I'm going to drive you home.
Okay, good. In Vegas, there's so many things to do.
Yeah.
So I understand if you're like last night I was in Pleasanton, California. There's not a lot of, there's a bowling alley and a Motel 6 and, Tommy T's Comedy House. But, you think you're in Vegas, there's a million things to do. There's shows on each hotel. There's 5 shows. So why they'd come to my show is beyond my comprehension. But a lot of times they might have heard of me, but they deserve what they get. But it's amazing how many women, and especially the young ones, have no idea their husbands jack off. Matter of fact, you know what? I masturbate so much. I'm just telling this to your viewers because you don't have very many, but I'm telling you this. I jack off so much that when I fuck my wife, I feel like I'm cheating on my hand.
All right.
Can I get rim shot? Anyway, Vegas.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up.
You've had your own theater. I was so thrilled to hear this for the last couple of years, and now you're transitioning to the Tropicana?
Well, Hooters Casino, which is off the Strip, but now the Tropicana is on the Strip, so I got my own little showroom. But, this is no time to be owning a show in Vegas, especially if you don't have a white tiger or a puppet. I don't have a puppet.
Well, now you have puppets. I'm giving you the thing.
Oh,
I want to show people a picture. You're putting together all sorts of memorabilia for your own showroom at the Trop.
Right.
When does the show open?
It opens May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I can't have a better day.
Okay, sorry. Now I got to tell the Cinco de Mayo story. Oh, you're my favorite racist on stage. We're playing in Sunnyvale.
Racial things.
Yeah,
I said racial things.
Yeah. Come back from it now. Now's a good time.
Okay, Jigger, go ahead. You're my Jigger. You're my Jigger, mofo.
So we're playing in Sunnyvale, and the audience is maybe 37% Hispanic. It's Cinco de Mayo.
That's one family.
And you go on stage. Bobby goes on stage, Cinco de Mayo, and says, yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo. Let me tell you something. You ever been to that rat-infested shithole Mexico? You would think, with all the maids that have come out of that country, the place would be a little cleaner.
You would think that.
Every day, 100,000 of these people are coming over the border. If each one of them picked up one piece of trash on the way out of town.
You're right.
All right.
No, but it is a disgusting country.
So go to camera 5 if we can, please. I want to show this wonderful picture. You're putting together your own memorabilia.
But this is nothing. This is a minor part.
Look at that reveal. What was that about? What the hell was that about? That was a ridiculous dramatic reveal. Okay, we did a show together, the three of us. We started out together with Dana back in San Francisco 25 to 30 years ago.
Where did he go?
Dana's going to be on the show May 31st. You can tune in and find out for yourself. So we took that picture. This is part of the memorabilia that you
No, this is nothing. This is part of my wall to make it look like a car wash or a deli or a dry cleaner. Now, I have really cool Vegas memorabilia. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm a big student of Vegas. I have this collection of Bugsy Siegel stuff. I have a collection of, when I did the Rat Pack, I took real Rat Pack stuff, and then me and Ray, the woman, by the way, the woman, Joe Mantegna and Ray Liotta couldn't have been nice guys to work with. Matter of fact, the creepy Rat Pack story. We have time?
Sure.
Jensen, you can come on next week with Dana, can't you? Yeah, he doesn't need to go on. It was really creepy when we shot the Rat Pack movie. One creepy story. It's a cool story, though. Frank Sinatra had a restaurant called Perino's, and Frank Sinatra helped John Kennedy get elected. When then Kennedy turned his back on him. If you know anything about the Rat Pack, Kennedy did turn his back on Sinatra. And his father, Joe Kennedy, was
Joe Kennedy stole the election by as badly as Senior Bush did with Florida.
What I say about
Joe Kennedy did with the state of Illinois.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is a great guy, but Joe Kennedy was a piece of shit. John Kennedy's father was a piece of shit. He was a Jew-hating, motherfucking piece of shit. You know that, right?
It's official.
Yeah, it's good.
Now that you've said it.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But anyway, and I mean that in the nicest way for all you Joe Kennedy supporters. But anyway, he hated Sammy Davis, wouldn't let him, he made him, Frank ostracized himself from. Anyway, the whole point of the story was when Kennedy got elected, Frank Sinatra has a big election party in Perino's. They had a big party. The Rat Pack was all there. We put it in the movie. But, of course, Perino's is now gone. So remember the Ambassador Hotel?
Sure.
Which is now gone also. The Ambassador Hotel,
where
Sammy
Bobby
Davis lived before. That's where Robert Kennedy was shot. Yeah. So when the hotel was in disrepair, I mean, it was falling apart for years, and the entire hotel was rat-infested, but they kept the lobby intact so they could do movies and TV commercials. And they had a coffee shop, which they turned into Perino's. So while we're shooting the Kennedy inauguration, and we're partying, and Kennedy, and Frank's there, and Sammy, and Dean, and everybody. So in between the takes, I would go over my lines, and I'd walk right next door to the kitchen. It was the pantry where Robert Kennedy was assassinated. And that horrible picture where Robert Kennedy was lying on the ground, his life was ebbing away, and you see his eyes are open. That's where he died. They put him in the dumbwaiter to take him up. There's an X on the floor of the pantry. And they showed me where Sirhan Sirhan came in and they shot the guy in the head. So I'm standing there in the kitchen, not aware where I am. And I don't believe in ghosts and all this stuff. But it was creepy.
That's why you sit on the steps of the Psycho House and now you spend time in the kitchen where Bobby Kennedy was killed. Sure, I understand.
I knew you would. Yeah. But it was kind of creepy that here we are celebrating John Kennedy's inauguration and his party, and it's a big celebration.
There you were masturbating in the spot where Bobby Kennedy was shot.
Right, it was kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was creepy. It's completely creepy.
Yeah. And you want creepy? Who's next? Doug Benson?
No, you're
King
good.
of creepy. He's my man.
You're going to tell us about your new room in Vegas.
Yeah, here's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I have this wall of memorabilia, and it's nothing really that costs a lot of money, but I just have collected stuff and photos, and it's not just stuff with me and my friends. But I decided after I did this, let's do some stuff on the Rat Pack, let's put some old photos up, and I collected all these old ashtrays and matchbooks. But then I realized yesterday, you know what I need to do? I put these big boxes in with all these photos, and I realized Casino, a movie you were in, I said I have to do a thing in Casino, because Casino is based on a true story.
Yes.
Robert De Niro's character was, of course, who?
Lefty Rosenthal.
Okay, I want to make sure and of course, I want to make sure Pollak does his work. And Joe Pesci was?
The rat.
The ant.
The ant, right.
The ant.
Sorry.
Spilotro. That's right.
Spilotro.
Tony, Spilotro. By the way, that comic we did about before was Pat Cooper. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yes. That's fantastic. That's my favorite part of the interview right there. Bobby and I were having a discussion an hour and a half ago about Pat Cooper. Neither one of the old cockajews could come up with a name. You just remember.
How can you remember Pat Cooper?
Now I can sleep tonight. All right.
Because Pat, this whole time.
No. Finish the story. I'll kill you.
This whole time. Because Pat Cooper said to me when I got my own room, him and Leno both said that nobody in the Strip is doing this kind of stuff anymore. Nobody's doing that kind of Red Fox, Shecky Green, Slappy White. When these guys would play these little places, the Copa Room, and I'm trying to bring that back. And I'm not saying I'm as good as Red Fox or Frank Sinatra.
You're every bit as good as Slappy White.
I'm better than Sinatra. But what happens is I'm trying to bring back that whole lounge kind of.
Well, like Rickles was found by Sinatra.
When Rickles used to play, the Conga Room in the Saharan. And they used to have these cool little rooms, and they're all gone now because the casinos all have 19 restaurants. They all have to have, these nightclubs where these fucking pretentious pricks can pay $1,000 for a bottle of vodka to possibly see Paris Hilton. It's bullshit, So I'm trying to bring that back.
What's the name of the showroom?
The Bobby Slayton Room.
The Bobby Slayton.
And you want to know what we were going to call it? The Bobby Slayton Showroom or the Bobby Slayton Theater, and they couldn't. Because if you use the name showroom or theater, that means you have to bring in like 5 union guys.
So you just call it the Bobby Slayton
Room. If you go
to
showroom or the theater.
You want to sell a few more tickets?
What do you have to do?
Call it the Kevin Pollak Room.
Call it the Kevin Pollak Room. And you can Jew me down on the tickets. They're $39.95, but for you, $24.95. Just say you saw me on the show. I'm giving these tickets away. I'm crazy, Kevin. I'm nuts. So what do I have to do with this stupid Larry King thing? I still don't get it.
You have to do Larry King show because sadly it's time for you to go to your dinner.
I'm already standing like Larry King. So what do you do? Because they try to explain it to me.
You do a bad Larry King impression. You're halfway there.
I'm more than halfway.
Then reveal something about yourself on the air the way Larry would that no one should know.
What is something about me as Larry King?
Larry King revealing something. You're doing a bad Larry King impression, revealing something about himself on the air that no one should know, and then go to the phones.
Why can't I just...
You want another example? Thanksgiving, I like to teabag the gravy boats before the guests arrive. Milpitas, California, you're on.
Okay.
There's another.
All right. I'd like to... Okay. I gotta get the character. Shut up. I don't need over like Larry King. I'd like to fuck Jenny Jameson on my wife's coffin. How does that sound to you? Islamabad, you're on the air. Rumpelstiltskin, hello? Is the caller there? Is that good?
And
Not bad,
curtain.
Benson.
And curtain. Bobby, thank you so much.
That was good as your Larry King. And you do your Larry King.
That was
I've never done an
fantastic.
impression in my life.
Here.
Why? Is it
Bobby, you have parting gifts for you. The,
Oh, wait, I got something for
finger
you. I got something
puppets.
for you. I got
You
something
do?
for you.
You
I got
do?
something for you.
What?
I'll tell you if you shut up for a minute. I think you're going to Okay, so they call me the pit bull of comedy. You know, you asked me about this in a bit.
Sid Vicious and the pit bull of comedy.
I think I told you this. It's a little Easter present. I want to thank Jamie for making that lovely dinner. I want to thank myself for bringing the lovely wine.
Yes, thank you.
But you know
First booze
what
on
I'm
the
going
show.
to do around the. I'm going to go to all the concierges in Vegas, and I wanted to give them something. So what I got for everybody, I got one for you, is since I'm a pit bull comedy, a chocolate dog shit, and it's really good chocolate. It's not shitty chocolate, no pun intended. It's good, and it's like a little Easter present.
It's in the shape of a
Dog shit.
a steamy pile of dog poo.
Yeah,
It's called chocolate dewdrops.
Yeah, dewdrop.
I'd lose that part because that's kind of stupid. But it's a beautiful gift.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I think the concierge will love this. Anyways, I love you.
I love
and
you
thank
too.
you so much for being
Thank you.
here.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
28 years, Robert Slayton and I have been very good friends, and I
Sneak
love
out
him
here.
dearly.
Sneak out. You're not supposed to see this.
Get the other camera on Bobby as he leaves. Get the other, don't forget your
Can I
finger
have this?
puppets.
Can I? Do you want?
Yes,
do
it's
you want
yours. It's a gift.
I
There
love
better be another one at the store tomorrow, half off. No, you know what, Bobby? Bobby, take your gift and get the hell out.
Okay.
All right, I want to thank Bobby Slayton very much for being on the show.
Whoa. You want your shirt back?
No.
He
Actually,
lent me his shirt.
Bobby, hold on to the finger.
He lent me his shirt. Because, you know, they told me not to wear black. Nobody tells you this. You think you get a fucking memo. Here's your goddamn shirt. Yeah. Here's your fucking shirt. Take your goddamn shirt. It's a nice shirt. Thank you.
Well-
I was supposed to make my exit out of here. But you know what? You can't edit this. We're on live internet.
Yeah, Bobby.
Can I have this?
Bobby.
Thank you.
I'm gonna want that back.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you want
can
this?
have
I don't really need
You
it.
can have it for the gag tonight. You're still mic'd.
Oh, my God. Let me just take that was a nice exit.
I want to thank Bobby Slayton for being hilarious and destroying my show and my concentration at the same time. Dr. Chen, do you want to de-mic and de-louse Mr. Slayton on his way out, please? And so I can introduce my next guest. But I don't dare start that introduction until Bobby's the fuck out of the room, because he will not allow that to happen. Did we shut off his mic? That's all I need to know.